Okay, so what we got here today, guys, is probably something you've noticed in your garden. It's a giant piece of bamboo with copper wrapped in a clockwise motion to the very top, where you have a straight piece of copper sticking up in the air. And what these are what we call in legacy garden lightning rods. And what you need to do is invite all your friends over in the middle of the heaviest thunder and lightning storm that Louisiana has to offer. And you're going to stand together and put your hand on this rod and hope that you get struck by lightning. Just kidding. You're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is explain what electroculture is. So while we do that, we're going to back off and take a look at these plants. What we've got here are eggplants at the base. These were very small when we planted them, and I was surprised that we didn't have to replace any. Anyways, we've got a row of 8 in this bed right here. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm going to walk over to this bed and show you 6 more eggplants. Much larger when we planted them as well. These tomatoes as well, another thing for our frame of reference here, are slightly larger than these tomatoes on this. So when you notice this antenna in your bed, you're going to notice that as part of our experiment, it's been placed in one of 2 beds that somewhat mirror each other. And that's the way we're going to have a control for these tests. We have eggplants and tomatoes over here, both slightly smaller than the ones in this other bed. So now I'll explain a little bit about what electroculture actually is. So a little bit woo-woo, so get ready for that. I think some of you are going to like that, and some of you are going to think it's totally weird, but that's okay. This guy named Victor Schauberger and another gentleman, I can't remember his name, did all of these experiments with electroculture, where some of them built 20-foot tall rods, some of them built 6-foot tall rods, and everything in between, antennas of all different kinds. But it works off the principle that it's harnessing the natural electromagnetism of the earth, or the chi, or the ki, or the vril, or the prana, or the life force of the universe. And it's supposed to be harnessing that through that more noble metal, through copper. It also works with bronze. Both of them are really expensive, so I only use 16 gauge, but that's besides the point. Fact is, you could look up electroculture. I'm going to leave some links down below so you guys can look into it on your own. People are growing cabbages that are over 20 pounds. People are producing fruit and produce that is 2 times to 3 times the size of their control tests. People are doing so without fertility treatments, and people are doing so without any pesticides, and doing so naturally. So everyone on the internet, when it comes to electroculture, is beating the drum and talking about how this information's been hidden from us for over 100 years, or almost 100 years, just so we could be more reliant on Monsanto, the big ag industries, the big ag companies. And we don't like to do that, which is why we know each other and why you guys have trusted us to come and help you grow food for your family. So I hope you trust us enough to run one of these experiments in your house and at your local gardens and on the local level. And if you hate it, it isn't the most aesthetically appealing thing in the world. I get that. You could rip it out if you choose not to be a part of the experiment. But what this will serve as is to let us know whether or not the experiments worked, whether or not we produce higher quality produce than in our control beds. And if so, we are going to invest in some much more aesthetically appealing antennas for the following season. There's some pretty cool stuff that people are doing online. People are making fleur-de-lis, people are making sacred geometrical sculptures out of copper and bronze and using them in their orchards and in their fields and in their farms, and they're kicking butt and they're doing really good. So I found this information. I thought it was interesting. I thought you guys might find it interesting as well. And we're gonna run these experiments. Hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think about electroculture. If you think it's just woo-woo, if you think it's madness, if you think it's nonsense, or if you're excited to give it a shot. And like I said, I'll leave some links in the description right here so you guys can check it out on your own. Hope y'all are having a good one. Hope you crush it in your garden this season. Much abundance and prosperity and love to you and yours.